Witches and mortals seldom do mix, but when mixed marriage is on the cards, insanity pursues with the classic 60s sitcom Bewitched, with your co-hosts, Vicky Ray, Jesse Fultz, and Keith Chowdhury. Witches have never been so exposed before.
And take it from me, I'm Uncle Arthur, Sammy.
Hello, welcome to the License Podcast, and it's Bewitched Week. We'll be discussing episodes 8 through 16 from season 3. And before we get started, let's find out who's with us. We have Vicky Ray with us. Hello, Vicky.
Hi, it's just a little old me and you again today.
Yeah. And Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to everybody listening.
And before I get started, I guess, let's see what you've been up to. What have you been up to?
Well, not a whole hell of a lot. Just doing my little project thingies. And I binge watched the 4th season of Cobra Kai. Yeah, I don't know what it is about that, but I can't just watch one episode. You know, and then there's Yellowstone. I don't know. I have not been a big fan of any show like I am for Yellowstone. It doesn't even compare to The Walking Dead. We know how much I like Walking Dead, but I just really enjoy Yellowstone. And what else did I see? I don't know, your various horror movies. You know, I've been trying to find stuff that I haven't seen. You know, I'm running out of horror movies. and you know, all this 2021, or is it just me, or is everything that came out, even if it's an indie film, please don't shoot me, 2021 films are just sucking it.
Well, they're COVID films, aren't they?
Yeah. So. You know, I mean, I enjoyed Corona's Zombies more than I did anything else. Yeah. So that was about as stupid as it fucking gets. But I could see, you know, I just haven't seen anything. And if I see it says 2021, I'll back up another decade. Maybe 2010, 2005, maybe before that. There's just something there every once in a while, something, but I don't know if it's the CGI is just so apparent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, most of those 2021 are films that were started in the beginning of COVID and then it kind of like scrambled to finish them up. But
yeah,
a little bit when they could let people, you know what I mean? So I probably didn't probably all lacked the team effort of a whole team working together as one. Possibly.
I've just noticed that I've been avoiding movies and it's like, I wish Shudder would like turn over a little bit too. They need to put some new stuff out there. I really like the South Korean stuff and the Indonesian stuff. I have to be in a mood to sit there and read, you know, I don't mind the subtitles, but I really enjoy their stuff because they have no filters and they have CGI, but they have lots of blood cannons and that is so important. So lots of gore for me, but other than that, not a whole lot. It's been really cold here in Texas and we're kind of worried again because when you get 21 here, you know, I've already had pipe problems already. I mean, we're just not equipped. Not that we're pussies because I come from Northern New York. It's just that they're not used to that kind of stuff. Like they're getting in our hometown right now. They're like getting feet. They're all griping about shoveling and the snowplow coming back and putting it back in their driveway after they've cleared it. You know, the drill.
Yeah.
But not a whole lot going on. Just trying out, just hoping that grid holds this winter. So anyway, what about you? I know you've been working your ass off.
Yeah, I've been working. I did get through Cobra Kai though, because in between I've been watching an episode here and there, and I actually finished the whole season. Actually,
you did finish the 4th season. Did you like it?
Yeah, I did. Actually, I do like it. I'm like,
I really enjoy it. I don't know if it's an '80s nostalgia thing or it's hard watching Ralph Macchio as an adult though.
Yeah, another season.
Well, it's kind of good. I mean, I know that they hate each other. Conflict has been going on for 3 decades, you know. But I mean, and then you get the backstory to, you know, what's his face, the mean guy. Oh my God, why can't I remember him?
I call him Dickhead.
Dickhead. Well, the dickhead's got the crazy dickhead, and I won't give away the ending. But who saw that coming?
Yeah,
you know, I don't remember him in the movies. I don't remember him training Ralph Macchio. Do you?
I don't know.
Remember that? Or is that something they inserted?
No, but the thing is, he said he trained a girl. Remember there was the Karate Kid and had the girl one? With Hilary Swank?
Yeah, with Hilary Swank. Yeah.
Maybe he's in that one.
Well, they showed scenes of him and the guy with the ponytail from the Karate Kid with Ralph Macchio. So I'm thinking they're superimposed or whatever they're doing. But
maybe it's the third one. I don't know. I mean, I've never
seen it with just Hilary Swank, but I like what they did with it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the Vietnam thing, it just, the backstory, it just explains a lot. And you kind of starting to feel sorry for the dead. Mm-hmm. A weird way. Dickhead had a history. So, but you got to watch it to find out. I strongly urge everybody, if you're, you know, if you're an 80s fan or that you love, you know, Karate Kid or anything, it is so worth watching. I could not sit and watch just one episode. Boom, boom, boom.
And I watched some Queer Eye, which is good this time around. I enjoyed that. And
which one?
Queer Eye on Netflix.
I keep waiting to see how I can get Dexter. Everybody keeps talking about that. And what is it? Oh God, it's a name. Hornets. Oh God.
Yellow Jackets.
I heard that was excellent. I haven't seen that. It's on Showtime, maybe.
Yeah, I'm watching that week on week. So I'm a couple episodes behind that, but that's brilliant. Christina Ricci and Julia.
Do you like it?
Yeah, excellent.
It looks excellent. I'm going to have to probably just.
And I'm watching another show called Cruel Summer, which I liked a lot. So
that looked good. Netflix is really doing pretty good this month. They've actually got some good stuff.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime. They're kind of. HBO Max is being boring for me. I'm going to have to knock that one off for a while. So I don't know.
Well, we watched Emily in Paris over Christmas, so that was really good.
What's that?
Emily in Paris.
I didn't see that.
So
I was like, I tried to watch all my typical Christmas horror stuff, and somebody got onto my ass on Instagram and said it was vile. You should not be watching this stuff for Christmas. And it just I think it was Silent Night, Deadly Night, the ad for it. And I'm going, who the hell's on my Instagram that doesn't like horror? So, I guess there's always one.
I watched 1 and 2 of those.
Silent Night, Deadly Night, or whatever.
Okay, so I think I watched them Christmas Eve or something.
I like them. I don't know why. I watched Krampus, and I watched that other scary one with with Santa. Santa's kind of, oh God, what was that called?
Christmas Horror Story.
Yes, that one. That was excellent. Totally loved that one. Loved it. But other than that, like I said, we're just seriously chilling here in Texas, but not a whole lot going on for this cold weather. So sitting here watching my pipes. Well, except COVID, I guess. The wildfire of Omicron or the Chi variant.
And now they're talking about the new variant that's coming. Yay. So
it was the what was it called? Flurona. I saw that meme today, Flurona. I think it's some guy said, who makes this shit up? He goes, next one is going to be Rice-A-Rona. I just couldn't stop laughing. I know it's not funny, but shit's funny. People got to lighten up. That's all.
I just kind of wonder, who makes these names up. So
I don't know. Flurona. Because I guess it's the flu, but you got the Rona at the same time.
Yeah. Maybe it's people who make up names for the tornadoes or the hurricanes.
Well, I'm going to hold off on any boosters for a while because they aren't doing anybody any favors here. So
yeah,
I'm just going to wait and see. I think I want those antibodies back. I don't know.
I don't like it ending anytime soon. So.
Nope, it's going to be here forever.
Well, let's go into Bewitched, episode 8. Dangerous Diaper Dan. Diaper Dan, played by Marty Ingalls, the Stevens' diaper service band, is also secretly under the employ of the A.J. Kimberly advertising agency and plants a microphone bug in Tabitha's rattle so he can steal McMahon and Tate's ideas and its clients. This was filmed on July 18th, 1966. So what do you think of Dangerous Diaper Dan?
It was okay. He was an annoying character, though. I did think, I thought it was okay. That was pretty cool that he put the microphone bug in the rattle. That was kind of fun. But
it didn't make a lot of sense to me.
It didn't make sense, but I think that was the whole point because, I guess it was little corporate espionage going on. And how Diaper Dan got involved, I don't know. They must have known that, it's the Stevens' house and we're going to employ this guy to... It didn't make a lot of sense, no. But
yeah,
I mean,
why don't you just put the bug in his office? What do you think that every time Tabitha's around, he's going to be discussing what his latest campaign's going to be? Consider most of his campaigns.
yeah, but I get the whole point.
Are drawn on a great big whiteboard. So it's like,
right. But the whole point to that is there's not a lot of witchcraft going on at McMahon and Tate. So, it wouldn't have been as near as fun.
But then again, I mean, it's not a camera. It's an audio thing. So how much do you actually hear? It's not like when she twitches her nose, you go, I'm sure that's not what you hear every time she twitches her nose if you're standing next to her.
Nah, those are simpler times, though. You got to remember,
But I mean, it's good to remember, like the diaper bag guy, the diaper bag service.
The diaper things. I mean, my poor mother, your poor mother.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally had to clean shit when we were kids. When I had babies, I was throwing that stuff away, just like diaper service. Hell no. I remember when I was younger, we still had cloth diapers we were using for dusting cloths, that she had from when we were babies.
Yeah, well, they had a diaper pail, didn't you, that was filled with, I think it was bleach or something in the dirty diapers in there, and they would soak in there, and then the diaper service to come and pick it up and wash it and give you a fresh pair.
We didn't have a diaper service, though. My mother washed that shit.
We had one when we were living in the city of Fulton, but once we went back to the farm, no, it was kind of hitting those.
Well, Fulton was a little more civilization back then because let's face it, Syracuse was a kind of a bigger area.
Yeah, we had Nestle. We had probably Nestle's chocolate factory there.
So that's right. Is that still there?
Yeah, in the summertime, the whole place still smells of chocolate.
It's Oliver Salve or something. I can't remember, but I know I passed it coming from when I was driving off the thruway. I think that's going to bug me now.
Yeah. The only problem is, I mean, during the summertime, it just smells of chocolate.
That would be awful. That's like when I leave the gym. There's this place called the Jaded Dragon right next door to Planet Fitness. And it is the shittiest place to put a gym with all them restaurants. Because, Chinese foods, I can smell that 2 blocks away. Yeah. And it's just like, oh man, you're always hungry after you work out. It's like, oh my God. I'm so gone. But the diaper service stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think my mom had it for my middle sister, but didn't have it for my younger sister. So,
you're the baby, right?
I'm the eldest.
You're the eldest? Oh, your birthday's tomorrow.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I got to say happy birthday to you now. I can't do anything obnoxious to you because you're too damn far away.
You're too damn old as well. You need to respect your elders.
Damn old.
You need to respect your elders.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm your elder by 2 weeks and you don't give me any respect. So piss off.
So, yeah.
But I don't know. They planted the microphone. They wanted to steal and okay, I get it. They had 2 good ideas. And so those ideas kept getting relayed back and forth. Isn't that what happened?
Yeah. And they got mixed up. And of course, it's Samantha that saves the day. And
then she teaches him a lesson by popping his tires and haunting his van.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was kind of a
typical
Bewitched episode. Fake by numbers, Bewitched episode.
Yeah. She was Tabitha's so cute though.
Yeah, she is very cute.
Before I go on, somebody told me, okay, I'm having another brain fart here. I had it all in my head. Joni Cunningham.
Erin Moran.
Did she play Tabitha as a baby?
No, I don't think so.
Somebody was talking about that in a forum the other day ago, and I didn't look it up. I was trying to find something about it. Someone said that Erin Moran started off as a small child on Twitch, and I can't find anything about it. And they were going at it in this forum. So, I don't really get involved with that stuff.
Oh, is she dead, Erin Moran?
Oh, she did?
I don't know. I remember something about her. I don't think she's one of the twins. No, I'll look her up, but I don't think she is one of the twins because I
didn't find anything on it. Just something that was bugging me.
No, she was into Daktari at the age of 6. That's when she started acting. Yeah. I mean, she did do the courtship of Eddie's father, My 3 Sons, Family Affair.
Right.
There's no talk about her being in Bewitched or her sister or anything like that. So
Oh, okay. I'll have to find that argument that's going to bug me. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, because I would assume that if she was, I'm sure that would have been mentioned. You know, it would have come up.
Yeah, maybe so.
Because she would have been because she would have been one of the twins, wouldn't she?
Right.
They were started out as twins, and then the other one.
Well, I think it was. If you notice, Tabitha is a little baby, dark hair, but that doesn't awfully mean anything. But I had a bunch of dark hair. God, my daughter had black hair when she was born, so you just never know.
Yeah, Erin Moran, Joni from Happy Days, died in April 22nd, 2017, at the age of 56 from throat cancer.
Sad.
Yeah, well, at least it wasn't me. So anyway, let's carry on.
It wasn't you, no. And Betty White, oh my God. It just
she was 99 years old.
I know, but couldn't she have hung there just one more week? You know?
So this brings us to episode 9, the short happy circuit of Aunt Clara. Aunt Clara believes her spell was inadvertently blackened out the entire eastern seaboard, so she asked her old beau, Octavius, to help turn them back on. Note, this was filmed on July 25th, 1966. This episode was inspired by the Northeast Blackout, which occurred in November 1965. Title was a takeoff of The Short Happy Life of Frances Macklemore by Ernest Hemingway. This is a cute little Aunt Clara story where
it's definitely a cute little Aunt Clara story. And does Lee Irwin always write her stories for some reason, or?
I find that he writes all the ones that there's always a little bit of heart in them.
Yeah. But I love this one because it did. I don't remember the blackouts, of course, of the Eastern Seaboard. I don't know if you do, but you know how people go batshit, especially in New York City, when that kind of stuff happens. But I mean, it has happened. And I would have been a year old, so I probably would have been asleep during it anyway. So I wouldn't have cared.
I'd be in my crib sleeping. We know if there's a blackout or not.
But I mean, they don't really say though. Did she do it or did they never really? It looks like she did it, but on the other hand, did she do it? You know?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that she kind of like does a little magic, and it just happened to be a coincidence.
Backfires.
Yeah, I just think it was. I don't think she was she caused the blackout.
She was trying to wait. Was the other one? What was she trying to do? She was trying to. I'm trying to remember what she was doing with Tabitha. That she did the spell that blacked out the Eastern Seaboard, and she couldn't do it. Except poor old Octavius had to keep his hands raised up. Because if he put his hands down, the lights would go off. But basically, the lights were only on in the Stevens' house, and it had nothing to do with the Eastern Seaboard.
Yeah.
Because,
so basically the Eastern Seaboard. I think she did a magic, and I think the blackout just was a real blackout. It just happened to come at the same time. So
the same time. Because they are in New York. I've watched these little things that I just would have never noticed before. You know, like certain things, like, you know, in other episodes, like we're going to cover, like it says, you know, such and such a town, New York. Because they're like in the tri-state area, somewhere down there. And I always thought it was California for the longest time.
Well, I mean, to be honest, it looks like California. I know they say, I think there's.
I don't know. It looks like Connecticut to me. I mean, most of it does.
Yeah. And the city does look like New York when they show like Tate McMahon's building. It does look like New York. But I have to there say the town that they live in, you know, Mockingbird, whatever, Circus or Circle, whatever. That's
Mockingbird Lane. That's the Munsters. Morning Glory.
Morning Glory. But it does have that California suburban, like, you know,
right.
Brady Bunch, Partridge Family kind of neighborhood. All that kind of
Brady Bunch was California, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was California. But they use the same house in I Dream of Jeannie, and that's supposed to be Florida, isn't it?
Cocoa Beach, Florida. Yeah.
So
I Dream of Jeannie, probably one of the sexist shows that they've ever put on. Nobody's bitching about it. But it
doesn't help that Bewitched has no change of season. Everything is always sunny.
It's always sunny. There's no winter. That's right. But every once in a while they have a coat on. But I never understand why they go outside with a coat on, because obviously not cold. So, I mean, who knows? And I often wonder, you probably would know, is that like the front of a set, or is that a neighborhood, or is that a neighborhood made for a set?
The outside is it's just a set. I mean, there's
Just
nothing
a setup thing.
There's nothing inside the houses, and then inside is of course a set. So
right. So they just made a little.
Yeah, and they reuse those houses all the time anyway. You know.
Well, I know that they use it. I know that they use the Stevens home as the Bellows home too. Because if you notice, if you ever watch when they have the Dr. Bellows house on with Amanda, I think is his wife's name, you can tell that's the Stevens' house by the front door and going back to the other door with the den and the kitchen. It cracks me up. Well, I don't know. I've always I don't know why I noticed
they still use those houses today. I mean, the Munsters house, it was Bree's house from Desperate Housewives.
Was it?
Yeah. Look at the outside of it. They painted it blue.
No shit. I didn't
even
think
think of that. Houses over and over and over because it's the back lot, isn't it? It's the back lot, so they do all the outdoor stuff.
I thought that was when I went to. It's been a while, but I went to Universal Studios in California, and they had the back lot for like Back to the Future, and it was just a plain building, and you had like just a model on a hill of Psycho, and it was like about the size of my kitchen. So you can do pretty much anything with that. And I'm going off topic again.
And they're all on wheels as well. So they can move them anywhere they want to. And they move the houses around and do what else.
Pretty cool though, if you see on the set. But so she doesn't get the lights back on. Well, she does get them back on.
Yeah.
The guy, who was it? That was the guy that he just wanted to eat dinner, didn't he? He was in a hurry and he didn't really want to sit down and do business. And so they decided, well, if they had lights on, that they would bring the business guy over to the house. And that's where all the, what do you call it? Antagonistic things started happening. But
yeah,
of course, they always save the day and somebody gets Aunt Clara back on board. There was a lot of Aunt Clara in these episodes, which I love.
Yeah.
I really like her.
Well, I mean, I think even when the lights come back on, it's because the blackout ends on the Eastern Seaboard. So it was not Clara at all. I mean, the only reason
inspired though by the Northeastern blackout. That was the year before.
The only reason why Clara was blaming. I mean, that's how we knew that was actually a real blackout because everything's blacked out. It's only Stevens' lights going on and off, and that's the magic of the episode is actually her getting the lights on in a place that has no electricity.
Yeah. Except for the old guy that broke up. Well, it was her boyfriend, Octavius or Octi, or is that what they called him?
Yeah,
Octavius. Yeah, and they made him keep his hands raised. It always cracks me up how they have to get some old warlock in there to help him with stuff. But I mean, she's such a lovable character. I mean, if I know she's going to be on, I know I'm going to enjoy the episode.
Yeah, she's always good. Well, this brings us to episode 10, I Rather Twitch Than Fight. Samantha and Darrin give each other unappealing gifts, which cause them to bicker. When Larry suspects the couple is having trouble, he suggests to Darrin that he talk it over with a psychiatrist. Well, Endora insists that Samantha see one as well, none other than Sigmund Freud himself. Parley Bear and Norman Fell guest star, filmed August 25th, 1966. The title was a play on Territon Cigarette's famous slogan, "Us Territon smokers would rather fight than switch."
I forgot about that. Oh my God. And did you notice that Larry had a cigarette? That they do have cigarettes in their hands. It's just like, would probably account for all of the cancer 70s and the 80s was to follow.
Well, the cigarettes are probably are the advertisers as well.
Yeah. Territon cigarette. I remember those.
There probably was Bewitched cigarette ads.
What was the name? Yeah, I didn't even think of that. I gotta look some of this stuff
up.
There are
Flintstone cigarettes where you can see like Barney and Fred smoking a cigarette, and in comes Wilma and Betsy goes, "Oh, what are you smoking? Oh, can I have one of those?" Ooh, nothing's better than a Carlton cigarette.
Yeah. Oh my God. What was the other? Well, Marlboro, that just goes without saying, but what was that? Parliament cigarettes, the big white ones. Because all the girls wanted to have the vagina
flavor. That minty flavor, and it's just a small stick.
Virginia Slims, or I will just said it, vagina slimes, they used to call them. But those Virginia Slims were the nastiest cigarettes on the planet. I can't believe I did that to myself back then. But oh well.
Yeah.
But I did the sports jacket was godly ugly. And I still didn't really account for why. Let's see, they were listening to Larry and his wife because they were talking to a psychiatrist for marriage. I guess if I was married to Larry, I would need a psychiatrist, a marriage counselor of some sorts too, because he's such a conceited ape, and he's narcissistic. I think he means well, but that's just how he's written, and she wanted to get rid of his old jacket. See, Scott's like that too. I could use that later, he always says. I can't throw anything away unless I know he's not going to find out about it.
Well, but to be honest, it was a bloody ugly jacket.
But it meant something to him.
Well, it was orange.
It was a tweed houndstooth jacket, is what it was.
An orange tweed houndstooth jacket. I mean, it was like, I have to admit, it was ugly.
It was ugly, but that was the whole point. But why would he go? But they're just saying that they're listening to people, this is what we always do. We listen to everybody else instead of the person that we share our space with. And then everything gets convoluted. So he thinks that she wants to get rid of it because he's not attractive to her anymore. And he thinks that when he wore that, that's what attracted her to him. And,
well, that's what the psychiatrist, and that's what Larry and the other one were saying, but I don't think that's anyway. He gets her that ugly nightgown. I shouldn't say ugly because my mom used to wear nightgowns like that.
Well, it was a bathrobe, and they're really comfy. Ugly bathrobes are really comfy, but I think that you didn't want to see Samantha bathrobe, and even her mother is just like, if I would not be impressed if someone gave me that bathrobe either, because that just looked like a big towel.
That's something that your kids get you for Mother's Day or something.
Yeah, like with ugly, slippers.
Yeah, but they're normally like quilted, aren't they? Like a quilted.
Those old quilted things with the princess collars. They were itchy as hell. I just, and I got one every year. Someone got me one of those bathrobes every year, and they weren't warm. I'm sorry, aunties or mom, but they were not warm. It was just, we lived in that.
And they don't suck up. They don't suck up the dampness after a shower either.
No.
And then you get like some great big long nightgown to wear as well that kind of goes all the way down to your ankles. Underneath that.
Well, he suggests they talk it over with a psychiatrist, or Larry does. And then Endora whips up Sigmund Freud. Yeah. Do you ever wonder how Sigmund Freud, does he just like think he's like imagining that he himself has just, drafted to this dream? Or
I like Norman Fell as Sigmund Freud though. I like that actor.
He looks like him. He did a good job as him. And
he's been in a lot of things through the ages as well. So I recognize him from a lot of things. But he goes, I like the argument between him and the other psychiatrist.
Yes. Yeah, they want to fight. Here they are.
I've been working in psychiatry for 20 years. Well, I've invented psychiatry.
Well, it was kind of interesting dynamic because they're supposed to be the kind of people that, hash out stuff, not beat each other up. So, the fact that Sigmund Freud was going to fight with the contemporary psychiatrist of the time, had something to it.
And at the end, it all fell down. It's all because of your parents as well.
Yes. Well, all boils down to don't listen to everybody, for crying out loud, because he bought her that ugly thing. She had those two beautiful negligees, and then he ended up getting her that thing, but she went back and got his ugly houndstooth jacket back for him. And then they both realized, it's like, well, this is not what we wanted, which is what happens in so many relationships. Like, instead of talking to each other. She
dyed it as well, didn't she? Before
it was the guy that took it at the pawn store or the Goodwill store. They dyed it and they patched it up, and then she just tweaked it back to where it was.
He said that there's no way that anyone would even take it for free.
I believe it's Sigmund Freud said it was an ugly jacket. He said the only thing he's suffering from is bad taste.
Yeah.
So that worked out.
But it was a cute little episode. I didn't mind it.
It's a cute little episode. I liked it. Totally. The Tareyton cigarette things went right over my head, though.
Yeah, went over my head. But now thinking about it, it's like, okay, well, it was that era, wasn't it, where cigarettes were pretty much paying for the program at that time.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? We've got. I
mean,
remember the Marlboro Man's
I Love
last
Lucy.
ads.
Remember the I Love Lucy? And they had like the little I Love Lucy cartoons doing the cigarette commercials.
God, Desi always had one in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that yet? The Lucy?
Yeah, I did actually. Movie? It's really good. I really
I liked it a lot. I had no idea. I knew that they had problems, but I had no idea to the extent. Little plug for that movie.
And to be honest, she really looked like her by the end of it. So this brings us to episode number 11, Oedipus Hex. Endora hexes a bowl of popcorn with a goof-off spout and snarls Darrin, the milkman, a television repairman, Larry, a policeman, a client, and Samantha's entire fundraising committee. Norma Verdon and Helen Cleve guest star. Note, this was filmed August 11th, 1966. What do you think of this episode?
I got a kick out of it, kind of. I like the little old ladies. I like the character actors when they bring them in. And, because you knew it was going to be a boring lunch and they were just like old, drone kind of thing. You know how that works. And then, Larry and Darrin are always working. The fact that everybody that touches this popcorn bowl, decides to, blow off their day completely and be irresponsible while Endora sits in the bushes or on top of a tree and laughs at him was kind of entertaining.
Mm-hmm. I also liked that when the ladies came in and Samantha's getting all bothered because these guys are just being loud and obnoxious. But then they go, well, come on, honey, we'll help you out. They get all the money. It's like they didn't have to do any rap or anything. They raised all the money.
It was a playground, yeah, but I think it was they didn't have a commission anymore or anything to do after that. But I really did enjoy the older ladies. I know that I've seen Queenie Leonard and Norma Verdon somewhere.
Well, one of them is one of the Baldwin sisters from the Waltons.
Baby, that's right.
I don't know if it's Mamie or the other one, but it's one of the Baldwin sisters, which is kind of weird because normally you see the other Baldwins. Normally they're always together, right? Even like in other movies like Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte or whatever.
Yeah.
So one of them was a Baldwin sister from the Waltons. I remember that.
I love how they well, it only seems to be their character actors. They come in, they leave, but you never really see them again. But the character actors that they do bring in for these little skits are really kind of enjoyable because you just don't see that kind of stuff anymore. I guess I'm showing my age.
And you kind of recognize them as well. They're kind of like,
Well, if you like old film, you see these people.
Even like on other TV shows, and like, this pop.
They did the circuit.
You'll see them on there. They'll be on Love Boat, and then next thing you know, on the Waltons or the Little House on the Prairie or Charlie's Angels or Love American Style or whatever. They always just pop up in everything, or the Munsters, or you just
especially like the judges, the people that play the judges on Bewitched. You see them on everything. Yeah. They play like the colonels on I Dream of Jeannie. It really cracks me up because a lot of people, I mean, you'd see, you're right. You'd see them on all these different sitcoms, like Gilligan's Island, they had all kinds of people on that.
I know, considering that they were on a deserted island that no one can get to.
They had more traffic than probably O'Hare Airport. It's just like that's crazy.
They always had people popping in and off that island. No, they couldn't get off the island, but everyone else could get on and off.
Like the Mosquitoes, the rock band.
Yeah. So weird.
But no, it was kind of an uneventful little, but it was a good one.
Yeah, I like the idea. It's like, because the one person, Darren's like sitting there taking it easy, and the other guy, I like the idea.
They're out in the back.
Well, you're so lucky you could take it easy, and that other guy takes it easy. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like, like what if everyone could just take the time off just for a day?
But they keep asking Samantha to make them a sandwich. It's like, how many times are they going to ask this poor woman? It's like, we need more sandwiches. No wonder women got bitter and nasty through the years.
And that's something. Why don't you just make your own sandwich? It's not that difficult.
Quit asking.
I know.
I just can't imagine women being that complacent completely back then. So,
No, not at all. Well, this brings us to episode number 12 called Sam's Spooky Chair. Samantha buys an antique chair, unaware that it is really a warlock played by Roger Garrett, who has transferred himself long ago in Boston when Samantha rejected his affection. Anne Seymour guest stars. This was filmed in September 29th, 1966. Yeah, I mean, this is another one of those witches, warlocks that somehow turned themselves into an inanimate object that Samantha had something to do with. Samantha had some kind of long ago friendship or a relationship with.
I thought it was kind of good, though, how they were trying to hide this chair, you know, and because it was a haunted chair and it was putting up a fight when Darrin's trying to put it in the closet. You know, I mean, it was kind of cute. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I liked the old lady was kind of, I felt so sorry for the old man who was married to Anne Seymour. I mean, Mrs. Cosgrove, what an old battle axe. I told Scott, I go, if I'm ever that mean to you, I go, just plug me, you know, load one of the pistolas and let me have it. But, yeah, I mean, it was cute because they were a cute little old couple, but this guy didn't have a life.
No,
you know, and then
had to go
there's nothing worse than having somebody decide, well, if you don't give me that chair, basically, because I like it, you know, well, we're probably not going to sign your contract, you know, kind of thing. So there's that.
And I have to wonder, it's like, because they take the chair home and then it makes its way back to the Stevens' house. Was it just this chair just walking down the highway back to their house?
It must have. Because they obviously lived in a different neighborhood by the judging of their house. And, you know, the chair obviously walked. But apparently, according to Endora, people that get upset, especially warlocks, always turn themselves into inanimate objects when they get upset. Now, who would want to be a chair over some woman, you know, rejecting your affections? Yeah. And let's see, the chair was how old? It was in an antique store. So it's probably been around for at least 50 years. I could think of better things to do to myself.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to turn into a chair. Maybe a table, maybe. I don't know.
Bed warmer. Different episode.
Yeah, that comes later on, doesn't it? Someone gets turned into a bed warmer.
Yeah, but it was a cute Pat O'Malley. I love him. He's always been a cute old man. He's played in a lot of movies. Or a lot of character. He's a big character actor too.
Yeah.
He's and who played Mr. Cosgrove though? Oh wait, it was Pat O'Malley and Anne Seymour. It was Howard.
Well, Pat O'Malley is also one of the voices of the Aristocats.
Yes, yeah, he did a lot of work for Disney back in the day.
Everybody wants to be a cat because we got to be a cat.
I liked Aristocats. That was one of my favorite ones, actually. Mm-hmm. I love that. But let me see. But it ends well because he's obviously a nerdy dude when she turns him back into a human being, or she has to get permission to turn him back into a human being. And of course she makes a copy of the chair. So everybody is happy.
Yeah, it was cute.
It was very cute.
Well, that brings us to episode number 13, which is My Friend Ben, Part 1. Aunt Clara tries to conjure up an electrician to fix a broken lamp, but zaps up Benjamin Franklin. Franklin is astonished by the 20th century and wanders away, leaving the Stevensons to rescue him. Unfortunately, he gets arrested for stealing a fire engine. Fred Wayne, who has starred in a live one-man show about Benjamin Franklin at the time, plays Benjamin Franklin. And it was listed as a historical consultant. This was filmed on June 15th, 1968, and was first episode filmed in color. DVD release does not include a laugh track. So yeah, this is
in 2 parts.
It was a 2-parter. You know, you got, Benjamin Franklin there. And
I actually liked this one.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it had a nice little message. And it's too bad people don't watch stuff like this today, because it would have been a good message for today. But you can't sometimes delegate that message like, the good old days.
It was quite interesting that the guy that they got to play Benjamin Franklin was someone who's star of a one-man show about Benjamin Franklin. This is where they found him. So.
Well, he had it nailed. You could tell that this was just not some actor that they picked off the, off a screen, thing. That he actually was Ben Franklin. I mean, he could be Ben Franklin. That's how good he did it. And I found it funny. Of course, it's Aunt Clara that gets him to come, get an electrician. So she gets the electrician, of course, and it should be Ben Franklin. But I liked that even Darrin kind of softened on this one because he's a lovable old man. I mean, and he's always sense.
Yeah, I mean, he could have made a good partner for Aunt Clara.
Yeah, they did. They were cute together, kind of sort of towards the end. He tried to, I mean, how is it, he's trying to steal a fire engine though. He only went across the street. I mean, if he was going to take the fire engine, well, you can take it.
How far away was this fire station to get the fire engine?
It was just across the street. And I mean, you should have seen conflict coming. You're taking a historical Revolutionary War, individual Declaration of Independence out into the 20th century. There's going to be no problem, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's going to be a little controversy.
Well, another thing is, he discovered electricity. He never worked with it, though. Did he really think about it? He put the key at the end of a kite to see if the kite
got electrocuted himself.
Yeah, but so in fact, he actually didn't do anything with electricity, really. He didn't learn to harness it or pipe it or wire it. He just learned that it was in the lightning. So
he just knew that there was something out there. Yeah, he basically got electrocuted with that key on the end of that string.
Yeah, it's like,
but he had the know-how enough that knew something was going on.
He invented a lot of stuff. I mean, he was one of our great inventors, but I think when people think that he discovered electricity, I think, like Aunt Clara does.
Not in that capacity, yeah.
That basically, he discovered electricity, so he built the lamps and the wiring and all the stuff that went along with it. So.
I think we all have that. But that spills over into episode 14, where the conflict really does come into the...
which is called Samantha for the Defense, which is part 2. Basically, Mr. Franklin goes on trial for the theft of a fire engine. Things get worse when it appears that everything was part of a McMahon and Tate publicity stunt. Yeah, so basically what they do is they turn this around so it's going to be some kind of stunt for McMahon and Tate. I guess maybe they got the Quaker Oat.
No, but you got you've got the district attorney who wants to be really nice at the beginning, and then they think that it's a stunt for a campaign, and of course the district attorney, doesn't want to play ball after that. But I mean, I really enjoyed the finality on this episode because I really I guess I'm just so sick of seeing crap TV.
Yeah.
And I actually enjoyed this episode because they were talking about, I don't know, he was mincing words, but I mean, wasn't he also, Ben Franklin was just like a jack of all trades. I mean.
Yeah, well, he wrote the Constitution.
Yeah. And, and think of how much knowledge he had. And I mean, if this little upstart district attorney wants to can him, even the judge is like, well, if he isn't Ben Franklin, he ought to be. It's kind of a hard episode to explain unless you watch it.
When we eat the oatmeal back home in the wintertime, I always thought the guy on the
Quaker Oats guy.
I thought it was Benjamin Franklin. I didn't realize it was the Quaker.
I used to think so too when I was little. Until and then there was Tom Bosley. He played Benjamin Franklin in some show. I can't remember what one it was now. It might have been a John Jake series or something, but they showed how he used to like taking air baths, and apparently he did like taking air baths. He would strip naked and leave his door open and let the air just rush all over his bare ass body. So I mean, he was kind of ahead of his time. He was a nudist and all kinds of things. So you can't say enough.
It probably was cleaner than the water that was coming out of the ground.
Yeah, air bath. Yeah, you can't do that. You couldn't probably do that back then either, but I doubt people would totally freak out on you. They just think you're crazy.
I think if you got money, I think you can get away with anything. So.
Pretty much. You can now. I know that.
Yeah.
But it was a good little episode, and he definitely was not your run-of-the-mill character actor.
Yeah, it was cute. Sort of thing. This brings us to episode 15, A Gazebo Never Forgets. After Darrin and Samantha apply for a bank loan for home improvements, a nosy bank loan investigator named Hawkins, played by Stephen Franking, comes snooping around the Stevens home, only to see a pink polka-dotted elephant.
And I like what Paul had to do was
for Tabitha. This is the first of 14 episodes over 3 seasons that Dick York does not appear due to his bad back. Note, this was filmed October 19th, 1966. This is one of those classic episodes. You always remember this classic episode of the pink polka dotted elephant.
The elephant, yes. You can't forget the elephant.
Yeah, so this is kind of a classic one. So what's quite interesting about this one is that I always thought I didn't really realize that Dick York wasn't in it until I just read it. For some reason, I just watched it, and even in my mind, I still see Dick York in it. But
I kind of, in the back of my mind, noticed. I watched this one this morning. I rewatched it, and I did kind of notice that he wasn't there. Mm-hmm. But the guy that plays the investigator, Steve Franken, he's on a lot of stuff from back in the day. I think he's been on this show as different characters several times, actually.
Yeah, I think he was on this. Wasn't he like a leprechaun or
a warlock or some shit,
or something that was in love with Samantha in one episode?
Yeah. But I mean, just the thing that what jumped out of the page at me when I was watching this, and then when I watched the second time, was Samantha had to go to the bank and ask for the loan as Mrs. Darrin Stevens. And she was getting it for her husband because they really didn't give women loans back then. And this is the 60s. And that really one thing kind of popped at me because I can't imagine not being able to go get my own loan or my own credit card.
Yeah, it's kind of odd, the whole thing about the woman and the loan and you know what I mean? Even if you had a joint account, you just couldn't do it on your own. No. Things were really, women have come a long way in 30 and 40 and 50 years. People don't, I think that's why there's a lot of still, women all bunged up out there, but things have definitely come around. We probably got more rights now than most people. But I found that the nosy bank guy, had it coming, that polka dotted elephant. I'm just wondering if PETA would be upset about the poor polka dotted elephant these days. Was it okay stuff that they put on the polka dotted elephant? I would say, to be honest, I don't remember, looking at it. I mean, the paint was it's quite a faded. It wasn't like really rich color. So maybe, no. It looked like it was supposed to be a stuffed animal brought to life. So yeah, but I have to say that it didn't look like harmful. It didn't look like it was harmful paint on them because it was kind of like. It was kind of like not airbrush, but stuff or whatever. Yeah, it looked like it was watercolored paint that they used. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I thought it was kind of cute or anything like that. So when we were in Thailand, we went to an elephant refuge where they took care of elephants and they give them baths and stuff. And those little elephants, they are really obnoxious little things. They're just like human children. All much they like to play and they like to roll on you. It's like I got a kick out of watching it, especially trying to see Samantha and her auntie there try to get them out the backyard as opposed to having, of course, Larry has to spring everybody to come over while this is going on. So it just seems like Samantha is constantly, inconvenienced all the time. And something's always going on. This is a big one because you got the elephant sticking his head out the window and he's eating the bushes. And he's clearly there. And then they're running from room to room while everybody's trying to figure out if this elephant's in the house. And it shouldn't matter if an elephant's in the house to the bank or not. I didn't know the bank I wonder, did the banks actually check on your character back? I guess they did character references back then, didn't they? Yeah, I imagine they did. I mean, it would all be done by letter, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
But I can't imagine
I don't know how credit scoring went in those days. Was there credit scoring in those days?
Not like now. You didn't need a credit score to get a job. I know that. No one ever looked at my credit score or history for anything back in the day.
So this brings us to episode number 16, Soapbox Derby. Samantha helps a 12-year-old boy, played by Michael Shea, to participate in a soapbox derby race. Gladys Kravitz is furious with her nephew loses the derby and suspects magical interference. Samantha tries to get the boy's uninterested father, played by William Bramley, to come to his son's defense. This was filmed on September 23rd, 1966. I quite like this one. Now, the thing is, I really hate this new Gladys Kravitz. I thought it was very spiteful and everything about that, like trying to say it's cheap. But I really did like the relationship that you get with the father and son afterwards. And so that was quite a touching moment. So I quite liked this episode quite a bit.
I thought it was kind of a heartwarming little episode. Little Johnny Mills. I kind of like the soap, but it kind of reminded me. What was the other episode where they were helping the
There was the one where basically the mother didn't want her son getting ill, getting.
That's right. She was kind of a hypochondriac mother.
Yeah.
Helicopter mother. I did, now they obviously had footage of this somewhere because that was a highway somewhere. I've never been to a soap box derby like that where they actually go down the highways. I've seen the little ones but I've never seen the huge ones. I thought it was a really good episode, but it made Gladys look like a real Karen.
Come
on, Karen.
I'm having difficulty with the new Gladys. So
after analyzing the shows as long as we have and all that other stuff, and then getting so used to the other one, the original Gladys, it is kind of hard because she had something. I mean, I like this Gladys. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to, tee off any fans, but I
think this one's got there's a bitter streak in this one. The
other one was just kind of classically,
goofy.
Comical.
This one's got there's a evil streak in this one. There's I'm getting back at you no matter what sort of thing.
She's ornery. She's really ornery in this, and and you could see Abner doesn't give a shit as per usual. I mean, the kid wins you got Samantha, of course, working her magic in doing all the right things to help the boy and not using magic to help him. And then you have, the boy wins. And then, of course, you get called into these things sometimes. And it wasn't uneventful. It was heartwarming. But it was kind of like almost a repeat of an episode that they had prior in the first season, kind of, sort of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I also kind of like the thing about what the father said, sort of thing. Is kind of like, he's working all the jobs to make sure he, saving up for the university. And
he's probably doing all that. He knows it's the right thing. But a lot of people, especially they did work hard, dads do. And back in the day.
But it wasn't because he was an absent father. It's just that he was, saving up money to make sure that his son's got money for college and make sure there's for the bills. And so he's working every hour that he can. And so then I quite like that as well. So they didn't throw this whole thing about he's an absentee father, or a father that can't be bothered. A father that really loved him and cared, but unfortunately they're at that, the money.
He was a single dad. Mom was gone. Clearly, she probably had passed away, and he has his garage. He's doing his best, And sometimes, back in the day, it's true. Moms were really always the ones that were showing up because dads were working a lot back then. It was a different world. It truly was a different world back then. Well, I know a lot of the young kids, like millennials or whatever, they don't know. They don't quite get it, but it was a simpler, different time.
Mm. Yeah.
But I mean, I thought it was great that the dad did show up, and that they actually got to the national. And the kid got his scholarship and all's well that ends well. And she didn't use much magic except to fix that wheel in the first practice race.
Yeah, he also got the little thing where basically the son adored his dad as well because he knew how to build his derby because what his father does for a living as well. So he kind of got that little story as well.
Well, yeah, he obviously admires his father and looks up to his father, and people just, he was a hard worker, and hard work. That's just what people do, for their families.
Story. I quite like this one.
I liked it, but like I said, a lot of these stories didn't really jump off the page. The elephant one did, but
yeah, and I think that's just because that's a classic one they use. That seems to be a classic.
The purple elephant I felt sorry for the mother, actually. I forgot to talk about the mother of the baby that owned the elephant in the park. They screwed with her quite a bit.
So, what's your favorite episode and your least favorite episode out of this block?
It's kind of hard out of this block because I really liked the one. I liked them all, but as far as it wasn't as exciting as they usually are in this particular block, you know what I mean? But I liked the popcorn one because I liked seeing the guy screwing off in the backyard screaming for sandwiches. And, the spooky chair was kind of cute. I'll always say I like the Aunt Clara ones. But I could have probably lived without the Diaper Dan.
Yeah, I agree. My worst is the Dangerous Diaper Dan, and I quite like the popcorn Oedipus Hex. I like that one. I don't know. Just because he has so many different
it was cute. Because Endora, I love how they got her sitting in trees or somewhere up on top of the ceiling or whatever.
You get all the character actors in and
totally screwing with everybody. You got all these character actors, and I really, sort of I just like character actors. Me and you probably the only ones. Well, I know Joe does too, but they added so much. They kind of outshine the big actors sometimes, the character actors do. And you can't have these shows sometimes without these people. They are just totally key, just like the chemist, in the next episode, where the moon dust and stuff. I went ahead one in case, I always seem to be short by one.
I also like this one because it builds and builds and builds. So you get one character after, then the next one, then the next one, then the next one.
And they're all farting around, not doing what they're supposed to be. Yeah. And at the end, when all this wears off, one knows that, oh my God, I got a roast in the oven. I've missed my other meeting. I've wasted the whole day. We have not gotten any work done. It's all fun and games, but we need to get back to work. It looked like they wasted the whole day, but I guess it was the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, it was only.
But they looked like
it wasn't even lunchtime yet.
It wasn't even lunchtime yet. So they must have started partying early in this episode. But that was the one that stuck out a lot. I liked the elephant.
Yeah.
But like I said, the Dirty Dan, the Diaper Man, no.
Nah, that wasn't my.
Not so much.
So, what was your favorite character and least favorite character?
Always Aunt Clara in these. Well, and Dora too. You always got to give a nod to her because she's so sadistically evil.
Yeah, you can't. You can never fault her, can you? Endora or Aunt Clara.
Yeah. My least favorite character? I have a hard time not liking Aunt Clara or Endora. So they're definitely always going to be my favorite. But I guess the one
I didn't like the modern psychiatrist. I thought you
didn't like him. Well, he didn't seem like.
But I think you're not supposed to like him anyway. I think
he was the antagonist, or he's done this. Yeah, but that was a goofy episode too, though.
Yeah, the guy he played, Fred Wayne, he played Benjamin Franklin. I thought he was brilliant.
He was brilliant, but like I said, I didn't know till I just read that he was a one-man show.
Yeah,
sort of like Abraham Lincoln or something like that.
David Selby playing Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking about. So I think David Selby does Abraham Lincoln shows still.
Maybe he pops up in here as Abraham Lincoln. You never know when these episodes.
Never know. We've seen everybody else.
Precisely. But overall, I think it. They're okay. I can't sit there and say that any of these really stuck out as some of the ones in the past, but they're all okay. They weren't horrible. They kind of flowed. I stayed awake from them, so I guess that's something.
You stayed awake. I know, it's just like I have a hard time. I must be getting, I'm turning into my father. I fall asleep sitting in the chair now. I never thought that would ever happen. Just sort of like my other podcast movies. It's like I said, I get to it and it's like, damn it. It's like I woke up. It's like, damn it. Scott was turning off the TV again. I go, I've got to stay awake for this movie.
I've had conversations with someone, and it's like, I realize there's 3 movies I've never stayed awake through all the way through. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, I fall asleep and I wake up as a child catcher. Mary Poppins, I fall asleep after supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I wake up and feed the birds. And Sound of Music, I fall asleep after Do Re Mi, and I wake up and they're basically running away from the Nazis through the mountains. And I've never seen them all the way through ever. I know.
It's only, I mean, it's not that the movie that we chose, for our next coming up for our, 80s movies coming. I mean, I love my 80s movies, but I just got to sit up and finish watching it because I watched most of it, but I keep falling asleep. Damn it! Yeah. Just got to lay off the edibles.
Yeah, my big good idea.
I know.
Well, this brings us to the end of the Literature Lesson podcast. Next month, we'll be doing, of course, Bewitched Season 3. We'll be covering episodes 17 to 24. And, of course, next week, we'll continue our 2-for-1, the 80s, which will be Dead and Buried, and the other film called The Uninvited, about a mutated cat that attacks people on a cruise ship. Yay. And, of course,
it sounds like you need edibles for that one.
And our next book to screen will be American Psycho by Bret Ellis and the 1990s film. So good night from myself, and good night, Vicki.
Good night, everybody. Happy New Year. Take care.
Literary License Podcast.
That's a pretty hey. Dumbo. You see what I see?